Next up is a fellow, Greg Coleman, who I've known for some time now. And as our CEO at FM likes to say, what we really should be doing is just following Greg in everything he does, because he keeps getting involved in these companies that then have these spectacular exits. And if you're an entrepreneur, as I am, that's something that you appreciate. So he's moved to a new company from the Huffington Post, where he was Chief Revenue Officer. He's now Global President of a company, Criteo, and he's going to tell you all about it. Welcome, Greg.
Thanks, John. You've got time for.
Good afternoon. I am not Will I Am, just in case you were wondering. I do not have a presentation, but I have a couple of things that I think would be important for you to understand in the next now 9 minutes and 16 seconds. First of all, I did leave the Huffington Post about 3 months ago after we had a pretty terrific exit when the team at AOL purchased us. And actually, I live right near the AOL building. When I see AOL, I think ATM, but we can talk about that a little bit more later. But I didn't come up here just to do jokes. In terms of conversational marketing, social marketing, at the Huffington Post, we did an awful lot. And I'll segue into what we're doing at Criteo right now. But if you think about creating that brand, when I left, we were doing about 28 million unique visitors, which is pretty surprising for a brand that was just 4 years old. So the thing was growing leaps and bounds. And what a lot of people don't understand is the fact that more than 50% of the total unique visitors, the total traffic that we had, came from social, came from SEO. We did SEO. I know a lot of people say they do SEO. We did it to another level. We had Facebook Connect, we had Twitter, we had LinkedIn. It provided about 55% of the total reach. And when you think about social, you think about sharing. And you think about how those articles bounced all across. So for those of you that are on Twitter and that are on Facebook and LinkedIn, you constantly will see articles from the Huffington Post. It doesn't happen by accident. A lot of really smart people have gotten there. But then we started to dig into social marketing. How do we take a look at the utilization of those same tools to help our marketers get their marketing message out across the internet? How could you do that in a way that was authentic? So for me, social marketing equals authentic marketing. And there's a lot of BS, and there's a lot of real authentic marketing. And one story that I did want to share with you today in terms of just that, I can't use the person's name, it just wouldn't be fair, but I was with this chief marketing officer of a very large bank. And I was in that person talking to them about getting involved in the conversation, starting to talk to the consumer through social means. And I did my half-hour spiel. There was a lot of listening. And the person looked at me and said, Greg, that's all very, very interesting, but you have to understand my company is conservative, and I'm afraid, what would happen if we got negative feedback to engaging in the conversation. And I could feel my blood pressure rushing to my head. And I stopped this person, and I said, excuse me, you're conservative. You went out of business. You went out of business, and we had to bail you out. And you're telling me that you're too conservative to get involved in the conversation. I was ready to strangle that person, but I knew the person for a long time, so I didn't do that. But I think it's very interesting in this day and age still of people talking about getting involved in the conversation. Yes, you can have a Facebook page, and that's fabulous. Yes, you can have your Twitter account, and you can have your top marketing people managing that and so forth. That's partially getting involved in the conversation. But when you take a leap and you jump out and you put what you stand for in the minds of people, that is real. That's real marketing and real authentic marketing. And lots of marketers are still at the stage where they're talking about it, but to take a giant step further is what's needed. So we're seeing many, many pioneers right now come across the space, and it's wild to watch because we're all learning and we're all still making mistakes. So when I left the Huffington Post about 3 months ago, I started at a company called Criteo. Most of you do not know what we do, but it's a company that's based in Paris. We are extremely well known throughout all of Europe, and we have offices here in New York and Palo Alto. We just launched in Brazil, in Japan, in Korea, and Australia. And what we do is personalized retargeting. And the theme of today is not to talk to you about personalized retargeting, but it's to understand in the world of social, how does performance and social come together? So before I'm going to ask anybody to hold their breath, the answer is I'm not exactly sure right now, but we do have some signals that are out there, some ciphers that we're starting to take a look at. And I'll give you a couple of case in points. If we look at some really terrific marketing done by the folks at Groupon or Living Social, for those of you that have been out there, what have we already seen? If you have a bad deal or if you have bad merchandise, what's going to happen? You are going to get skewered. So one of the things that social in the world of performance marketing is going to take care of is that if there's something, unfortunately, that's not very good or not very real or value-oriented, that's going to sweep across quicker than most people would like. If you have, in the performance world, an opportunity where you do have a wild product or something is on sale and something is customizable where the client is looking for number of clicks, ultimate return on investment, where they have their dashboard set up, excuse me, the way that you know they do, a great deal will be shared. And we're starting really early right now, getting personalized retargeting really understood, even though it's been around for a while, has been a trick. But appending that to social is going to be something I'm positive that over the next 6, 9 months, a year, that is really going to take off. And when we work with clients in the social marketing world, at the Huffington Post, we put programs together that delivered a dashboard that said how many of these brand blogs were retweeted, how many were Facebook connected, how many were out there. So true in the world of performance marketing. I also am positive that you're going to be seeing some really great movement in search retargeting. And that, I think, in the world of performance is another holy grail. It's another way to look out into the marketplace and to really try to understand what is new, how can you make it happen, what does the creative message look like, and melding performance display with search retargeting. If for those of you that are out there looking into the future, what's next? It's wild. So in the world of retargeting today at my company, we have about 300 employees. The holy grail of marketing is right ad, right time, right place. Surprisingly enough, of the 300 people, we have 125 engineers that focus on the when to retarget. It was the biggest surprise that I found when I joined the company, how a variable like when is so valuable to the marketing mix. And then we believe, early on now, when you append when to the social world, where friends are going to want to share great marketing value with their friends, we think we're going to see this happen, and we think we're going to see it ripple very, very fast. We've been in conversations with lots of marketers right now that want to, and remember, social marketing is still so new. When you engage in a conversation appending social with performance, people can rightfully get confused. So first things first, lots of really smart people that are at this conference, I looked at the attendee list, are really at the forefront of social marketing and moving that forward. And probably a year from now, if John invites me back, I'll be here to give you some concrete examples around social, conversational, and performance. So thank you very much for your time today. And John, I will turn it back to you. That's my 10 minutes. Time is up. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg.